What's up, everybody? This video is specifically for those agents who are already making $100,000 a year and want to go to $250,000 and beyond. So let's dive right in. So again, this video is specifically for agents who are, beyond their rookie year, they're already making $100,000 a year, and they're like, Henry, how on planet Earth do I start making my first multi-six-figure income? I wanted to boil it down to a few specific key points. First and foremost, the most important thing you're going to want to look at is a dollar per hour activity. Boil down every single task that you have in your day. Everything that you do, you break down every task on a daily basis, and you give everything a dollar per hour rate. Things that you would just mentally think like, okay, yeah, I'd pay somebody $5 or $10 or $20 for this. Everything gets a dollar per hour. And I'm not telling you just to hire someone right off the bat, but I am saying this. If you do not know what makes you $5 or $10 or $20 an hour versus $500 or $1,000 an hour, and I want to be, quick tangent here. This is very important to understand. Negotiating contracts, conducting appointments, and speaking to clients, okay, which is prospecting time. Prospecting, building relationships, like lead generation activities. Those are the only three things that are actually worth your time doing forever and always. I mean, those are the last things you're ever going to think about delegating. You don't just hire an agent to make your calls for you. Do not do that. I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, and I'm telling you from someone who's also seen a lot of other agents make mistakes about growth. Social media, writing contracts, running around doing lockboxes and signs, scheduling photography, scheduling appraisal, scheduling all that kind of stuff. What I want you to know, because this is going to tie into point number 2 in a second, that stuff needs to stop. Not only does that need to stop, you also need to see the relative activities that you're actually doing for production purposes. That could be if you're doing a lot of rentals right now, and I'm speaking to a couple coaching students, you know who you are. You're doing a lot of rentals right now, or if you're doing a lot of very low-priced sales, $100,000, $200,000. What I want you to do is I want you to take all the sales you've done and look at the bottom 20% of the sales you've done, even bottom third, depending on how many transactions you've done. And I want you to completely cut off the bottom half and just say, or that bottom quarter, 20 to 33% of the business that you've done, and say, I'm no longer focusing on leads in this category, right? If it's 200, 300, 400, I don't care what the number is, you're not doing these deals anymore. You're not prospecting for those leads anymore is the focus that I want you to have here, okay? You're not gonna prospect for low-end price points anymore because you have to start shifting your focus away from the low-dollar productive activities, which is still includes doing rentals and lower-priced homes because you're doing the same work for half or a fraction of the pay. Point number 2 is leverage. Create leverage in your business. The only way that you're going to scale from 100 or so per year to several six figures in a year or two is through proper leverage. So yes, that is going to entail hiring somebody. Does not need to be a full-time person. This person actually can be a part-time person to begin with. 10 hours a week, a 20-hour a week, a 30-hour a week employee. Just to start off, they can start off with a few short hours every single day. My first employee ever that I contracted, right, it was actually a 1099 contractor because basically what I did was that I paid her a flat rate for each transaction that she worked on with me. It was like $300, $400, or $500 per transaction, whether it was a buyer or seller. I think buyers were a little bit more expensive. She basically worked part-time for me, and I did all the work, selling, prospecting, all that kind of stuff. And then she did all the paperwork. She did all the little stuff on the side that all had to be done, like coordinating inspections, coordinating appraisals, all the listing paperwork, uploading the listing on the MLS, coordinating a runner to the lockboxes and signs, all that type of stuff, which is required and important to do. However, I wasn't doing it anymore. So I had that delegated, and she was handling it, and then all I had to do was pay her a flat rate per transaction once it closed. It was a perfect situation. Or what you can be doing is that you can basically paying somebody $15 or $20 an hour to do that part-time, a few hours a day, 3 hours a day. You can start off with 15 hours a week, guys. It does not have to be a full-time employee to start. Most important thing though is focus on leverage. Point number 3. Focus on referral business. Because what ends up happening is that if you can cold call your way to probably 100 to 200 grand a year, without a doubt, I'm living proof of that. Matter of fact, I was able to get up to over $500,000, okay? But when I'm coaching, I don't try to say to somebody, hey, you're gonna cold call until you're making 500 grand a year. I don't think that's realistic. However, it can be done. What I am saying though is that if you want a sustainable business where you don't have to, where it's not just completely dependent on your own capabilities of dialing all day long, because that's not a sustainable, very growth-oriented business, referrals are the way to do it. So what we like to talk about is how to create more referrals. Number 1, you network with more people that basically creating a larger network of individuals or people that can refer you, adding more to your network, okay? Number 2 is that you can actually increase the number of referrals that you get per person in your network. What you're doing here is that you're deepening the relationship. You're deepening the relationship with every single person in your network so that you hopefully can get more referrals per person. The way to do that is the following. How do you build a deeper relationship, Henry? Well, let me answer it for you. To deepen a relationship, you're probably going to have to meet each other face to face several times. So you're going to go out and either get lunch, get a coffee, get dinner, go out and play golf, go out and, again, if you like smoking cigars, I'm not a huge fan, but go smoke cigars. If you like going out to the bar, go out to the bar together. Like, be a person, be a human being. You both are human beings. Go and hang out with the person doing whatever you enjoy doing. I don't care if it's bowling or, go out to the gym together. I don't really care what it is. The point is spend time with each other doing something you both mutually enjoy. Number 2 is going to be deepening the relationship in the sense of how that person views you in what you do for a living. The way to explain this is, does this individual, do they actually understand how much you know, your experience level, the quality of your work in the real estate space? The short answer is if they're not referring you, they don't know it. The way to do that is one of the following. Either they're going to experience your service firsthand, so maybe you've done work with them so they can actually experience how you do for them. Number 2 is that you're actually going to have to, most likely, you're going to have to walk them through how you set yourself apart from your competition. So you're gonna have to explain that to them. Have several conversations about it. Give him examples. Give them examples. Give this person examples of how you've done well for previous people in the past. Right? Your past clients have had such great success. You're gonna want to share success stories, testimonials. Give him or her an explanation, a story of people in the past you've worked with. That this way they can understand how good you are at what you do. And then the third thing, most importantly, is you're going to want to set up an expectation and understanding an exact way to refer you. Let me explain this, okay? You want to basically teach them how to refer you and who to look out for. Hey, John, okay? Professional partner person in your network. Hey, John, I'm specifically looking for individuals who are first-time home buyers who are looking to buy their first home. These are typically people between 20 and 30 years old. They're either right out of college or they're about to start their career. I'm looking for people who specialize in that. You want to be specific. You don't want to just give them a broad thing of like, I'm looking for anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. That's not simple to duplicate. You want to be very niche when you're asking for this referral. You can make that up with any aspect. And John, just to be super clear, when you find somebody, as an example for me, who's looking to buy their first investment property or possibly sell a property to move into a larger property, what I'd like you to do, if you're open to it, is group text us. Put us in a group text. Do not do email. Do not do anything. Put us in a group text. Typically, the best way to make sure I can keep in touch with these people. Would you be open to doing that for me? Yes, of course. Okay, fantastic. Just out of curiosity, John, if you had to think of one person right now in your network that you know who's looking to invest in property, right? Who's looking to buy their first investment property or possibly sell one of their investment properties and maybe even buy more. Who's the first person that comes to mind? See how I'm basically like just trying to get his wheels turning, right? This is how you talk to every one of your professional partners so that they can help you grow your network. Because maybe he doesn't know specifically people who are looking to do this, but maybe he does know somebody who can refer you a lot of business. I don't just care about John. I care about all the people that John knows. Because then, guess what? If I speak to somebody that John knows, and now I'm buying into that person's network and all the people that they know. That's how fast your network can grow. You're buying into the next level of networks constantly. And the last tangent of referrals is that when you're talking about somebody with referrals, okay, you need to make sure you do an unbelievable job, because if you do a terrible job for John's referral, what do you think is going to happen with John? Are they going to continue to refer you? Probably not. So I always like to keep in touch with the person who referred that person. Say, John, just want to let you know, thank you for referring me Nancy. Nancy's been fantastic. I've been helping her find her first investment property. I just want to say I appreciate it so much that you did that. It means the world to me, and she's having a fantastic time. So I just want to say thank you again for that. Love to take you out for coffee or lunch sometime just to express my gratitude. When are you available? Hey, Nancy, listen, I don't know if you mind, and again, this is not talking to the client now you're not working with. Nancy, can you do me a favor and just call John and explain to him your experience with me so far? Because I just want to make sure that I'm doing you a good job. Would you be able to do that for me? You're continuously building the relationship, and now basically, John is now going to hear it from Nancy and from you that you're doing a fantastic job. This is how you're going to be able to grow your level of relationship with how good you are, your experience level with John. Because now John's going to hear it from Nancy and be like, wow, Henry's doing a great job, or Chris, or whoever it is doing a fantastic job for Nancy. I want to continue to refer him because I know that my friends and family are going to be in good hands with this realtor. Is that making sense, guys? I mean, like, this is super powerful stuff. Make sure you rewatch this. And by the way, this is exactly, I went even deeper with my coaching students today during our coaching call. So if you're open to having a conversation about joining one of our, if you think you have what it takes, if you're a committed agent and you want to go to the next level and you want really high level accountability, make sure you schedule a call with me down in the description down below. Point number 4. Point number 4 is very, very important, okay? Because I touched on it in the very beginning point, which is stop doing things that don't have a high dollar per hour rate. This is specifically talking about increasing your price points. But I want to be specific because you're going to probably hear this differently than you have before. And again, I talked about this in my coaching group. So what I want to talk to you about specifically about raising your price points is the following. If you took a second and you could actually just completely mentally restart your business, or ignore the fact you have a real estate license, ignore the logistics of it, and you were just going to focus on which markets, highest amount of transactional volume, and have the correlation of highest price points, and you go through the top 10 in each category, you're going to find 2 or 3 that are probably the same in each category within a few minutes from where you are or a few towns over from where you are. So once you have this data, which I would recommend that you research the data, once you have that data, you're going to then focus on the towns, the cities that have the highest transactional volume and the highest price points. Because what that's going to allow you to do is, with ease, sell more properties in certain areas, and they will typically have a higher price point. And quick note, if you can just increase your average commission check by half a point, 50% of a basis point, basically, okay? So what an example of this is, if your average commission right now is 2%, and you can start averaging 2.5%, do you know that you're increasing your net profits by a massive amount? Because now you're making an extra 25% more on every transaction. If 2% is currently $10,000 in a commission check, if now you're gonna make 2.5% commission on every one of those same exact deals, now you're adding an extra $2,500 per transaction. So again, if you're only selling 10 deals a year at 10,000 now and you're making 100 grand a year, and now let's just say, watch how cool this is. If all you did was add 2 things, now you're doing 12 transactions a year, except now your price point, watch how cool this is, guys. Watch how insane this is. I learned this from Jay Abraham, and I've been studying this a long time, okay? And if you did 10 transactions this year at $400,000 each at 2% commission, that's $80,000. 2% of 400,000 is 8 grand. Times 10 transactions, that's $80,000. So let's just say that you went from 10 transactions now to 12. Now you did 12 transactions, okay? 1 a month instead of 10, you did 12. So let's say now instead of 400,000, let's say you're doing $500,000 per transaction. 12 transactions, $500,000 each. And instead of 2% commission, you're making 2.5%. Now, instead of doing $4 million a year in transactional volume production, right? It was 10 transactions at 400,000. That was 4 million. Now you're doing 6 million, but the difference also is that you're getting paid, instead of 2%, you're getting 2.5%. Look at the drastic difference in commissions. Because if you take 2.5% of $500,000, what does that come to? $12,500 per transaction instead of the $8,000 in commissions you were doing previously, which is more than 50% more per deal. And if you're doing 2 more deals a year, which is now 10 to 12 transactions, you're gonna go from $80,000 a year to $150,000 a year, just making some very small tweaks in your business. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable information, guys. I hope you're paying attention to this. What this allows you to do is that if you can just make small tweaks, it's going to equal massive shifts in your income. This happens all the time when you follow these couple simple principles. And again, if you want to join my coaching program to learn exactly how we're doing this and implementing it with high-level accountability, make sure you click the link in the description down below and schedule your call. And for the next 2 people who take advantage of the coaching program, I'm going to be doing 2 free coaching sessions for you, private strategy sessions to make sure we, explode your business as fast as freaking possible, because you deserve to see a 5.5x growth in your income as well. Listen, guys, this video has been one of my favorite videos to record, with some of the best information, because I'm telling you, I'm living proof that this worked. I went from $134,000 in commissions year 1 to over almost $600,000 in commissions the second year, because I followed these simple principles. Again, if you want to take full advantage of anything, make sure, number 1, you download my script book in the description down below. If you have questions about this video, make sure you put it in the comment section down below, because I answer every single question, comment, or anything. I answer every single one of them. And again, if you think if you're committed, like some of you are, to go to the next level in your business, make sure you click the link and schedule a call with my team. Again, I'm giving away 2 free coaching sessions for the people who take advantage of my coaching session next. So I appreciate you so very much, everybody. Love you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.